This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. An old blip of bad luck leads to a project that addresses homelessness in Appalachia.
I got a traffic violation years ago, community service, and I started volunteering here at the Café, and I never left.
That story and more coming up this West Virginia Morning. Support for West Virginia Morning is provided by Hope Gas, committed to the growth and development of West Virginia to strengthen the community. Information at wvisforhope.com. Hundreds of first responders and emergency crews are on the ground in areas of West Virginia hardest hit by Tuesday's storm. Maria Young reports.
As residents and businesses work to dig out from the mud left behind, more than 500 National Guard members are in Lewis, Barber, and Upshur counties assisting with debris removal and working to repair bridges, roads, and key infrastructure. General Jim Seward with the West Virginia National Guard said the scope of damage is so broad that he expects the Guard to be on site for the next 2 weeks.
They've already started with the debris removal. There are probably in the neighborhood of 1,000 homes and businesses that have been damaged, and that's a tremendous amount of debris.
Governor Patrick Morrisey said state police have located an overturned vehicle in Upshur County that's believed to be connected to 2 people who are unaccounted for, but they have struggled to reach the vehicle. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Maria Young in Charleston.
Education leaders have taken action following the arrest and charging of a Fayette County teacher for enticing a minor. Chris Schulz has more.
State Superintendent Michelle Blatt announced Thursday afternoon that she was suspending David Elliott Pritt's teaching certification. Pritt is a teacher at Oak Hill High School and serves as a state delegate representing House District 50 in Fayette County. He is accused of soliciting a student for explicit images before escalating to physical contact in his classroom. The superintendent's statement says she is required by law to automatically revoke Pritt's certification if he is ultimately convicted or if he pleads guilty, and that her office will continue to monitor the case. Blatt also expressed her support for Fayette County School Superintendent David Warvell in suspending Pritt without pay and vowed, quote, the West Virginia Department of Education will support the Fayette County education community during this difficult time. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Chris Schulz in Morgantown.
A statewide virtual conference next month will look at ethical issues around addiction recovery. Eric Douglas has more.
The West Virginia Bureau for Behavioral Health, in partnership with Marshall University and the Opioid Response Network, will host the 2026 Behavioral Health Ethics Conference on Tuesday, August 4th. The free virtual conference will bring together behavioral health, prevention, addiction, and peer recovery professionals. Attendees will explore current issues, share best practices, and gain practical tools to support ethical decision-making in their daily work. They may be able to earn up to 7.5 continuing education hours in the areas of licensed professional counseling, psychology, social work, addiction and prevention, and peer recovery support. The conference agenda and full lineup of expert speakers are available online. Visit our website at wvpublic.org for more information. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, this is Eric Douglas in Charleston.
This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. It's 7:53. Partly sunny today in the north, cloudy in the south, where there's a slight chance of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Highs in the 70s and low 80s. Cloudy overnight with lows in the 60s. Saturday, partly sunny, slight chance of afternoon rain in the mountains, highs in the 70s and low 80s. Open Door Café in Wytheville, Virginia uses gardening as a way to feed the hungry while breaking down the stigma of homelessness. For Inside Appalachia, Folkways reporter Wendy Welch brings us the story about digging into the roots and connecting to more than just the land.
At the corner of a busy intersection in downtown Wytheville sits a large garden and a greenhouse. Lexi Riemann spends time each day in this greenhouse, and her hard work is clearly paying off.
Suyo long cucumbers, loofah squashes, jalapenos, cherry chocolate tomatoes, and a huge tray of marigolds.
To the untrained eye, they all look the same, like little green seedlings. But Lexi, who is now in her 30s, grew up with a family garden. The greenhouse she tends now belongs to Open Door Café. It sits beside the cafe kitchen and dining room. The nonprofit opened in 2012 as a soup kitchen supported by faith communities. 6 years later, the kitchen had morphed into a restaurant where people could buy meals with money or labor. By 2022, Open Door had a garden to help keep costs down for the cafe. Lexi started volunteering the next year on court-ordered community service hours.
I got a traffic violation years ago, community service, and I started volunteering here at the cafe, and I never left.
For those unfamiliar with the court system, people convicted of misdemeanors can do community service in place of a fine or jail time. Offenders get to choose from a group of civic organizations or nonprofits. In Wythe County, that list includes Open Door Café. When her required volunteer hours were over, the directors offered Lexi a job, overseeing both the garden that supplied food to Open Door and the volunteers who supplied its labor. Lexi understands the substance use that affects so many of the community service volunteers. Her 5 years sober anniversary was on the day of our interview.
When you quit drinking, you quit doing drugs, learning how to garden, grounding yourself, getting out there, breathing new life into things can help you breathe life into yourself. And we have actually had quite a few individuals from drug court work in the garden.
Open Door has 3 types of volunteers. Core volunteers are community members helping out. Community service volunteers work off court-ordered hours. Meal volunteers work 30 minutes in return for a plastic card they hand in at the register. They can then choose any meal from the menu. Many 30-minute volunteers are in sheltered housing or homeless.
Every single one of us is closer to being homeless than we are to being the next millionaire. We're one medical emergency away. And there's an awful stigma. People don't want to talk to homeless people. They don't even want to look at them. People don't touch homeless people for the same reason that back in the 80s and the 90s, people wouldn't touch individuals with AIDS. They think they're dirty. They think it's gross. They think it's going to rub off on them.
For Lexi, this is personal. Her brother, 8 years her senior, lived on the streets for years.
I will never forget what it felt like when me and my friends were leaving Target one afternoon and we're at the stop sign and one of the girls looks over and she goes, "Isn't that your brother?"
He was holding a sign asking for money and food.
And I just kind of said, "No, I don't know who that is."
Lexi says the stigma and shame she felt in that moment guides her interactions with her homeless volunteers every day. She makes sure to greet them by name. And in the dining room, people eating by voucher, mixing with customers who paid cash, is important to her.
My district attorney is maybe sitting at the same table as a homeless individual.
Lexi says that mixing those who worked in the garden with those who paid to eat allows conversations that fight stigma toward homeless people.
That was Wendy Welch at Open Door Cafe in Wytheville, Virginia. To hear the rest of that interview and more, listen to Inside Appalachia, Sunday mornings at 7 and Sunday evenings at 6 on West Virginia Public Broadcasting. West Virginia Morning is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Support for our news bureaus comes from Shepherd University and Marshall University School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Maria Young produced today's show. Listen to West Virginia Morning weekdays at 7:49 a.m. on WVPB Radio or subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. #WV Morning. I'm Teresa Wills.